From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
And hi everyone, I'm Ernie Anastas. Welcome to our show. If you're a regular viewer, thanks for being here. If you're new, well, I think you're going to be happy that you found us. Okay, on Positively America, we don't ignore reality. We simply choose to refocus it. There are a lot of ways to stay upbeat, even when things around you are not. So we promote creating a positive environment for yourself and those around you. Remember, people are like elevators. They can bring you up or down. Make sure you press the right button. Now to my first guest, who's been on the A-Team. She is a television producer, media consultant with her own company called Guestparts. She's even provided some top guests for our show. Let's welcome the wildly talented Jacquie Jordan to the show. Jacquie, it's so good to have you here.
Thank you so much. So good to see you. I love what you're doing, Ernie. I think this is so fantastic.
Well, you and your company do fantastic as well. Let me start with this. Jacquie, you're a storyteller. What is it you think that people really want to hear and see today during the current climate that we have?
Well, believe it or not, Ernie, and you know this even more than I do with your tenure in the news industry, is people are looking for positive information. I think people are looking for new perspectives than just the digestibles that they've been fed for so long. People want new information. It's so funny because, I hate to, Generation X is where my generation is, and your tenure in the news industry, we used to go home from school and then wait to be given the news at the end of the evening. Now we have so much information coming at us all the time through our cell phones, mostly through our cell phones, that the way, we're almost overloaded with information. So, and people, I think, feel that. I think we haven't even digested as a group, as a collective, how much information we're taking in. So I do think people want uplifting stories. I do think people want to hear positive stories. I think people really want to communicate. There's been so much visceral over the past couple years through social media, where we started expressing things we never thought we'd ever express. But now I think people really want to come together and hear different perspectives and have new ideas presented to them. So I think we're going to hopefully move into a whole new culture, and I think that's what's really great about the show that you're doing here.
Well, yeah, I think what we're talking about here is some balance. I'm calling this era the Great Reflection. I think a lot of things are being looked at right now in a very different light.
Absolutely agree. I even think that the travel of the summer of 2022 reflects that. I think after the 2-year lockdown, people have decided, I want to go those bucket list trips that I've been putting off my whole life or waiting for. You could see that people have done that this year because we had been locked down. So I think that reflects in every area, and I think it's going to be how it's reflected and how we want to handle storytelling. And I'm not someone who has ever, with a talk show producer background myself, I'm not someone who has turned away from ugly stories or dark stories. I think it's important for us to pay attention and stay awake and take in hard information. But at the same time, as you just said, we want to do it from a more balanced approach. We want to see the happy endings, the happy resolutions. One of the favorite stories that I used to always love to do for television was reunion stories, because people, love to see those positive reunion stories. So that was one of course, my favorites of putting it out there. So I think it's going to be a great time in how we communicate going forward, especially as media professionals.
Right. We've also witnessed a lot of changes in our business, and that's really due to social media, citizen journalists. I always check sources before running a story, but that doesn't always happen now, does it?
Well, thank you so much for being so responsible in the way that you reported news over all these years. I so appreciate that, and it's so valued. And I think that if we're in the great reception, we've definitely come through the great deception, especially with social media and TikTok, because just because you see something on face value doesn't mean that the image is accurate. It doesn't mean the video is actually accurate. We're even seeing fake with the Tom Cruise fake media, how they can put Tom Cruise in and make him be in somebody else's storyline. So I think it's made us more discerning now as viewers, as consumers of media, as to what it is we're looking at. And I think that's a really important skill to have, is the discernment discernment now is are we looking at? Is
Right.
this real? Is this true? Do I need to be responsible now to look deeper or further into the information that I have? And I'm a big believer in asking the question, follow the money. Where does the money go? Because that usually will always tell you where the end of the story actually ends.
Jacquie, you've really given us some great stuff. And here's a question we ask all of our experts on the show personally. What keeps you positive?
Innately, I believe that all humans are actually really good. And I believe that we really do have the best interest at heart. If we could if we could move the fear away and just look at each other eye to eye, heart to heart, I believe that we have the best interest at heart. And, having been a New York news anchor for so long in New York, we saw that come together after the World Trade Center, what New Yorkers were able to do. And I believe that we can do that, as a country and as a world. So that keeps me going and that keeps me positive. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. Great job. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back. I'm Bernie Anastas. Hope you're enjoying what we do. Maybe you could tell a friend who's feeling maybe a little bit down and tell them about our show. Good news tends to lift everyone's spirits. All right, my next guest lives by these special words: never give up, never quit. What a guy. He is a true American hero. He's a husband, father, 2 amazing kids, and has a larger-than-life personality. His foundation supports post-9/11 recalibrated veterans and their families through long-term programs. His book, Tough as They Come, was a New York Times bestseller, and he's currently writing a second one. He's someone you should know, so here he is. Welcome, Travis Mills. Hey, Travis, how are you?
Hey, doing well. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you. I love the positivity that you're putting off, and it's really it's infectious in a good way.
Well, we appreciate that, and you're doing the same thing. I can't believe all the people that you have helped, so many heroic men and women. Great job. Congratulations. And I know that this is very personal to you, too.
It is. I was injured in Afghanistan. My story is kind of a crazy one. I put my backpack down on a bomb, and because of the IED that went off, I lost portions of both arms, actually, and both legs. So I'm a quadruple amputee, one of 5 to survive. But through my injury, I had my wife by my side, my wonderful daughter, a 6-month-old little girl that helped lift me up every day, knowing that I needed to get better for her, for my family. And as I was recovering at Walter Reed, learning how to, use a prosthetic hand, and I got cool tricks. Like, let's not sit here and pretend like I don't. But I'm able to do a lot of good things at Walter Reed and recover. And I thought we should do something to get back to these veterans and their families. So we started the Travis Mills Foundation, where we, brought families out that had been injured with physical injuries, and now we have 8 families per week at this wonderful estate we built. Elizabeth Arden, she actually built it in 1929. She's one of the wealthiest females in the nation or the world at the time.
Yep.
And, we brought this estate back to life, and now we host 8 families per week. We do about 40 weeks out of the year. And I just got a lean, mean, staff, wonderful group of volunteers, and we give these families the hope that they need, that life goes on in a positive way. Let them know not to live like sidelines and keep pushing forward.
Travis, I know you have so many success stories. Maybe you can just single one out and just give us a personal feeling of how people react to what you're doing.
I think that our success is measured in a lot of different ways. But for me, when we have families come out and they get to try something they thought they could never do again. We had a father that lost both legs that didn't think he'd ever ride a bike with his kids, and we had him in a hand cycle and showed him how to do it. And he broke down because he's riding a bike with his kids on, having fun. We have the spouses say that they just haven't seen a loved one act like this since before they deployed, and that this place is really positive because it's not just for the service member, but for the family going through it. And we have little kids that cry when they leave, think it's better than Disney World. So, I guess that's a positive, even when the kids are crying. Yeah. But, just giving that hope and that belief to people that life's going to go on. Don't live life on the sidelines. Be active in your society, with your community, and don't hide from it.
And, speaking of community, you take your message all across the USA. You go to stadiums and classrooms and so forth, and you speak. That has to be a lot of fun for you, and you must generate a lot of excitement and enthusiasm when you do that.
I do. So I get the fortunate ability to have my own company, the Travis Mills Group, which I go and I consult and I speak to a lot of Fortune 500 companies now. And even though they pay me for their corporate events, they also usually do a big donation to my foundation, which is very nice to them because they see the need and the abilities that they have as, a potential donor of ours to help us further our mission with these families. So it's a lot of fun. I'm kind of a wild card since I almost died once. I just opened a restaurant a couple months ago. It's doing very well here in the great state of Maine where I live, and I own a marina as well. And, I just take every day as positively as I can and keep pushing forward, knowing that I was given the opportunity to live when a lot of my buddies didn't make it home.
And you say, never give up, never quit. We love that motto. Very positive, my friend. Very positive.
Absolutely. I mean, I just try to be as, hard charger as I can, realizing the opportunities that I have. And my wife didn't leave me when I told her she should. My daughter was there for me. Now my son, he's actually named after the medics that saved my life. So his name is Dax, D-A-X. Max for Dan.
A lot of personal stories there. Hey, before you go, one question, all right? What do you think is great about our country? What's great about America?
I think there's a lot of things great about America. I don't think we have enough time today for this segment for me to tell you, but one day, a guy with no arms, no legs wakes up in a hospital 4 days after his injury and doesn't know what his future is going to be, thinks he has nothing left to give and is going to be a burden on people. And there's people out there in this world that build prosthetics. So I walk, I drive, I take my daughter to soccer. My wife and I celebrate our 14th year of marriage this year, and I'm able to thrive in this world. So amazing. America, this nation is fantastic.
Travis Mills, you're a great inspiration, and we thank you so much for sharing your story. A lot of people listen today, and we love you for what you do. All good things to you and your family. Thanks, Travis.
Thank you so much. TravisMillsFoundation.org.
Coming up after the break, we're going to introduce you to an amazing not-for-profit organization that's changing the world one hat at a time. We'll explain when Positively America comes right back. Okay, we are back now as we continue our Positively America. Good stories, good news for you and for your family. On this show, we look on the positive side of everything. If there's a problem, we find a solution, and we look for people who are doing just that. We found another one for you. I'd like you to meet the founder of a fabulous organization that promotes a very successful anti-bullying campaign. It's called Hat, Not Hate. They've distributed over 90,000 blue hats made by knitters to schools all across the country. Students wear the hats, and they feel empowered to stand up to bullying. Great idea, and it's working. Let's meet the co-founder and the driving force behind this unique idea. What a joy to welcome Shira Blumenthal. Hi, Shira. How are you?
Hi, Ernie. How are you? Thank you so much for having me here today.
Well, we're very grateful you're here. Hat, Not Hate. We love the theme. How did you come up with that great idea?
It brings me back to the age old of 9. Almost 20 plus years ago, I was horrendously bullied. And that feeling has never left me through many, 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 many years. And now, 20 plus years later, I was working at a company, my family's company, and at the time I had the ability to use their platform and my own social platform to make a change, to bring light to this problem that is in our society today. And it's not only with students, it's with adults, it's with everyone. This importance of kindness needs to spread, and it needs to spread at a greater rate than it is currently now. And when I started it 5 years ago was to ask knitters, crocheters, loomers, makers to make blue hats like this one.
Right.
I believe you even have one of those, Ernie.
Yes.
And we asked them to make those hats with their hands, with all their love, send them to us, and then we would distribute them around the country, educating children on anti-bullying and how to be kinder. That's what we've done.
Shira, I love that theme. A lot of kids have been bullied, some, severely, and others, have had that brush with it, which is not good. It's not good. I understand that. I want to find out how young people are reacting. You have 90,000 you've distributed already. They wear the hat. It empowers them. How are they? What kind of feedback are you getting? What are they saying? Like, this is making me feel better, and it's helping the problem, right?
You know what the best is that I have had kids come up to me when pre-COVID, when we were doing in-person assemblies, and even since COVID, we've done virtual assemblies where we go to schools and we talk to kids, and they feel like superheroes. That's what we make them. Because what makes us different, Ernie, is one of the most beautiful things about our world. And each and every one of us is different. just like each and every single one of those blue hats. Those blue hats are made by different people from all over the world, as far as Australia and Singapore and as close as New York City. That's where I'm from.
Yep.
And when these kids receive these hats, even sometimes when we outfit the whole school,
right,
and teachers are wearing the hats,
good,
they feel empowered, they feel seen, and they feel heard. And that's the most important thing about Hat Not Hate.
You know, Shira, we live in a world of communications, right? I mean, we can just talk to anybody around the world. And I really believe in this. It's important that we share that message. Bullying is a problem, and it shouldn't be. We should be able to talk about it openly in our homes, in our schools, you know, in the playground, wherever it happens to be. Deal with the problem and let's solve it, because it really needs attention. And I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. Getting a lot of support out there, too. I know that. People are just joining, you know, getting involved. If someone wants to be part of it, tell us how they can do that.
So there are so many different ways that they can be a part of it. One, when I started Hat Not Hate, it's actually based on a hashtag. Put on a blue t-shirt, put on a blue hat. It doesn't even have to be handmade, and put it on social media and use that hashtag Hat Not Hate. That's what hashtags are all about. They're all about creating this cloud of information where you can go to. That's one way that they can get involved if they're not crafty. If they're crafty, go out and make a hat. And very exciting, this is one of my most favorite things that has come out of Hat Not Hate, is this loom kit, the Hat Not Hate Quick Knit Loom.
I love that.
Creativity.
I'm glad you're holding it up there. I'm glad you're holding it up there so people can see it. It's a great way to say goodbye to you. Shira Blumenthal, thank you so much. Hat Not Hate. You know what? We love you.
I love you too, Ernie. Bye, everybody.
I'm Jose. I love playing my bongos, and I love watching Ernie on Positively America.
Welcome back to Positively America. I'm Billy Floyd. Today, we're asking America, do you make a daily to-do list and follow it?
Yes, I make a to-do list and I follow it.
Does it make life that much easier for you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
How does it make it easier?
Well, I have my appointments. I have a lot going on in my life, and it helps me keep everything straight.
No, I just go off the top of my head. I don't really have a to-do list.
You like winging it? You like trusting your instincts?
Yep.
I think that's the way to live, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
How come? Why not?
Not spontaneous. Just go for it.
Living life on the edge, huh?
That's how we do it.
That's the way.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Over here? No, shaking your head?
Definitely not. No to-do list.
Why not? Why not?
Because we don't have to.
You don't have to. How come you don't?
Because I just like to do things on the spur of the moment. No pressure.
That's a good answer. Great answers right here.
Yes.
And what kind of things are on your to-do list?
Well, I'm a swim coach, so I have to plan my day. I have to plan my training. I have to plan my schedule.
I do.
You make the to-do list, and how does that help you?
Because it keeps my life organized. I know where I have to be on time. I know what to shop for. I know what to plan for my family, for food, and get the wash done and keep the family happy, and that's a go.
And that's the word on the street. We'll see you next time on Positively America. I'm Billy Floyd.
Oh, thank you, Billy. You know, we're getting a lot of good reaction from people out there who love these questions, love the answers. Let's keep it going, all right? All right, let me take a minute right now to talk about this. How often do you hear people say, live life to its fullest? So what does that really mean? I think it's saying to you, enjoy yourself, explore life, learn, grow, and find happiness. Let me ask you something. What are you doing? Okay? How are you feeling about life? Do you feel that maybe it's passing you by and you're not making the most of it? Well, if that's the case, come on, together, let's try to change that. The truth is that we all have different ideas about how to live our life. It's a personal thing, different for you, different for me, different for somebody else. But if you feel that you're not living life to its fullest, then I want you to ask yourself, what's missing? What's missing? To do that, you have to open up. You have to feel the freedom to explore your world and yourself. Nothing compares to the excitement and the joy of discovering and being everything that you want to be. And then doing it. That's the important thing. Take the time, think about it, and do it. I want you to think about this. Here's a visual. Think of your life as a big canvas. Take out that paintbrush and create your masterpiece. It's in your hands. Thank you so much for watching our show. I'm Ernie Anastas. Stay positive, America, and we'll see you next time.